It's time once again for your update from the city of New Hope. Let's chat with the mayor, John Elder, to find out what's going on in the city. And Mayor, as we start, we have a super busy week as we record this on July 21st. What's in store for New Hope residents this week?
Boy, I'll tell you, it is going to be a busy week. We'll start out with Tuesday. The West Metro Fire Rescue District open house is going to be at our Fire Station 3 from 5 to 8 p.m. And they'll have food and games and fire activities, things for children to be involved in. And adults can really learn about what our fire department does for them,
Mhm.
education and equipment. And it's impressive when you look at a town this size and the abilities that they have for taking care of the residents. And this is a great way that they showcase it.
Very good. Yeah, lots of fun for families. So make sure you stop out right there along Xylon. And then after that, the next day, starting on Wednesday, it begins the run of the Off-Broadway musical theater. What is going on there, and what do residents need to know to get in there and enjoy the excitement?
You bet. The Off-Broadway Music Theater is going to be presenting Shrek the Musical. And opening night is Wednesday. It goes from 8 to 10 p.m. and it is at our Performance Center at 4401 Cylon Avenue North. And that's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday through the 25th. So it's it's going to be so much fun. I've seen some of their dress rehearsals, and it's a quality production, which is exactly what we expect out of the Off-Broadway Music Theater and its local talent. And so we're excited to host that, and that will be over the next series of weekends as well.
Right. Yeah, that happens, I think, the Wednesday through Saturday, and then takes a few days off, and then they do it again that next Wednesday through Saturday. So lots of fun to see that. You mentioned West Metro Fire Department, and they recently had their board meeting and had a special few moments in that board meeting to honor a chief.
Absolutely. Well, they started by swearing in their new chief, Josh Kundi, and Josh has been on the fire department for many years, and he is going to be, well, he is now our new fire chief.
Hmm.
Chief Sarah Larson has officially retired. Wednesday was her last day, and after the meeting, there was a nice send off for her in the fire bays, and nice video production was done. Um, Chief Larson came in and took over our department when there was a lot of strife. We had a previous chief. There was great division in the department between the Crystal firefighters and the New Hope firefighters. And that was something that they really had problems melding together. And Chief Larson came in. She was the right chief at the right time. And she served, I think it was 12 or 13 years as chief,
Hmm.
and has brought this department together. We have one department that speaks in one voice, and seeing them work together at scenes and train together, it is a very, very well run department. And Chief Kundi was an assistant chief to Chief Larson and shares a lot of the same uh, theories and philosophies and leadership. And we look for more great things to be coming out of that department.
Well, best wishes to Chief Larson. Let's now go to community development, talk about a few things that are being discussed there. And one is Green Step Cities. We see some of the signs around town. Tell us what those signs mean and why this is a point of discussion right now at the city.
Yep. New Hope is uh, a participant in the Green Step program, and that is a way of being environmentally friendly, doing things with the environment in mind. And we are at step 3 right now out of 5 steps, and we are researching going to step 4. Now, I really appreciate the city staff's thought process on this. It's super important to be able to do things environmentally friendly and doing things the right way. There's a cost to it, and the city is evaluating the return on investment for the costs of going to step four. A lot of these things we're already doing. Um, but we need to look and see, is it the right thing for the city to do that?
Mhm.
And I believe that, at first blush, as we look at this, this will be something we will be able to get to. And just hats off to city staff for being willing to put in the extra work to keep in mind the importance of being eco-friendly and to doing the right things. And so we'll continue to move forward with that and to evaluate it at each step.
Okay, more on that as it moves along. Also in community development, single family conversions to rental. We try to keep an eye on this number every so often. What is the latest information?
Yep, every month I get a report, and it shows this last month in June, it showed that we had three properties go from home ownership to rental. And we had three properties that were rental that went to home ownership. So it's kind of a wash.
Hmm.
It's important for the city and for me, the mayor, to really keep an eye on what our numbers are doing. I am a true believer that rental properties are important. They really are. I want to make sure that they're being done properly. I don't want to lower somebody's standard or quality of life because of any particular property, whether it's rental or home owned or owner occupied.
Hmm.
So we, we have seen incidents where rental properties can be problematic. Well, we've seen owner occupied that are problematic.
Sure.
So you deal with it through ordinances and compliance, and so there was really a net change of zero over the month of June.
All right. Business networking group, community development also involved very heavily in the business community. Here's a date for your calendar. Early August, they're getting together with a special guest. Tell us
Uh,
more.
August 6th at 8:30 a.m. at New Hope City Hall, there's going to be a presentation by Elevate Hennepin. And Elevate Hennepin is a service that the city of New Hope belongs to, and it helps small businesses function. It can help them with business plans. It can help them with marketing. It can help them getting information out, how they run business flow, all sorts of things. And these are people at Elevate Hennepin who own small businesses or who have owned small businesses and have retired. It's really just a step we have taken to help ensure the success of our small businesses in New Hope because they are so important to the livelihood of this city.
Once again, that's August 6th, 8:30 in the morning at New Hope City Hall. One final note in community development, scattered site housing. There's a number of projects underway, but you've got a new one to add to the list. Tell us the new property the city is working with.
We do. On June 11th, the city bought the residence at 3865 Jordan Avenue, and we got it for below market value. And we are getting information out to residents and property owners within 500 feet, and it's posted on the city's website. Public Works has already turned off the water at the curb stop box and removed the water meter from the house. They're doing a hazardous material survey and tree survey and looking to see what they need to do to prepare that lot for demolition of the home. The police department, SWAT team, and fire department will have the opportunity to train there prior to the demolition of the house. And at the end of it, we will have the property all set to be sold to a builder. And we will put out a request for proposal to over a dozen builders. And they will come in with plans and specs and what they think they can build on that property, as well as what they think that home will sell for. So we're excited to get this property in particular onto our scattered site housing rolls and see what we can make great out of that property.
Let's head to the police department now in our update for you this week, and a number of items to touch on here. The first is community service officers. So give us a little overview of what those are, and I understand the city is in the midst of some interviewing.
You bet. A community service officer is a person who is not a licensed police officer, and they handle calls for service and details throughout the department that do not need to have a licensed police officer do it. Things like parking issues, they address animal calls, they handle details throughout the department. And so these are oftentimes younger individuals, 18, 19, 20, that are looking for a career in law enforcement.
Mhm.
And they get their foot in the door, they work hard, they do what they're asked, and they can often be hired once they're through their schooling as police officers at our department. So it's kind of like a farm team, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
look at it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the great thing about that is you get to see that person in some stressful situations. They learn the city, they learn the paperwork, they really hit the ground running if they do get promoted to the position of police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great tool in helping us with recruitment. You know, when you see other departments that are down, 5, 10, 15 officers, that isn't a problem New Hope has had. And that's largely thanks to Chief Hoyt and his administrative team and all the officers there that have not only built a great culture, but built a department that people want to work at. And so I think we're down one or two officers right now. We just had a couple of retirements, Captain Slauson for one,
Mm-hmm.
and so the department is being run very, very well. You have officers there that are committed and dedicated, and I'm very, very comfortable having our officers provide our public safety.
So you might see some of those community service officers around town soon. You might also hear about the chaplain program. So again, we're looking at some things in the police department that you might not hear as much about. Tell us about the chaplain program and what recently happened there.
Yeah, we have had a chaplain program that has spanned three cities. It's the Tri-City Chaplain Program, and that's Robbinsdale, Crystal, and New Hope. And any city within themselves doesn't have a great need to have a chaplain. It's great to have somebody that you can call in time of crisis or need, but the three departments got together and said, we really want to make something bigger and better. And so we are in the process of bringing on 12 chaplains. They are volunteer
Mm-hmm.
and they take a rotation and they will be on call. And they are being certified as police chaplains through training that the cities are paying for. And officers can call them out if there is a need for any sort of spiritual guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be, case in point, earlier on in my career, I responded to a suicide call, and the family needed support and needed help. And unfortunately, um, our pending call load was huge, and we didn't have the time to sit and help the family. And so we stationed one officer at the residence, and we called in a chaplain. And the
Hmm.
chaplain was able to provide a type of service that our officers really aren't qualified to do. And so um, the chaplain came out and really provided support to that family. And so we want to be able to provide that service to our residents.
Hmm.
We also have taken it a step further. The chaplains will be out riding along in squad cars. They'll get to know the officers from the three departments, and they'll also act as a resource to our staff. And if, one of our officers is having a difficult time, um, and wants to talk to a chaplain, somebody they've gotten to know, somebody they're comfortable talking to, they can do that.
Hmm.
So it really is about supporting the community, but also supporting our officers as well. We want a healthy community, and we certainly need to have a healthy police department and public safety, and that will obviously include the fire department as well.
Hmm.
Uh, we know that officers see things they shouldn't. They see things that humans just aren't meant to see. And there are sometimes a call can just get a hold of you, whether it's the death of a 6 week old, whether it's, a horrible car crash, maybe it's a fire. Um, and officers need to process that. And
Hmm.
having another outlet for our officers to be able to um, address that and help them be well, this is another tool for us to do that. So we're excited about the program. We put it out. We had a lot of interest from the pastoral community, and so we're excited to get this up and running.
One other note, and maybe a little known program within the police department and the city working on now, is the city cadet program. And you had some cadets visiting the police department recently.
Yep, the city of New Hope has brought on two cadets in a program called GTO, or Growth Through Opportunity. And these are two individuals that have disabilities, developmental disabilities, and they are working with all of the different departments within the city. And we are helping them to learn what it's like to have a job, um, how to do the job,
Hmm.
how to interact with others, how to follow directions. Um, and it, it was, it's really fun to see city staff embracing this and really taking the time to make this program worthwhile. And uh, city staff have really immersed themselves in this. And the two interns are getting a ton out of it. So our thanks uh, to Growth Through Opportunity for having a program such as this, and my sincere thanks to city staff for not just agreeing to do it, but to really doing it well. And that's huge. That is huge.
One other note in the police department, and again, something that might not be as known to all people, is the social worker program. And you wanted to share a little spotlight on the social worker that works with the city of New Hope.
Well, I got to be really honest. When I was told that there was going to be social workers being embedded in our police departments, I wasn't wholly in favor of it. Um, in my mind, I just didn't see how it would work and how it could meld. And I was concerned that my officers were going to have to take time and babysit and handhold these people. And I will be the very first person to say that I could not have been more wrong. These social workers that are embedded in with police departments, and almost every single agency in Hennepin County
Mhm.
has at least one, these social workers are able to help people in ways that our officers are not able to. Not because they don't care, but because they either don't have the resources or knowledge, and number two, they don't have the time.
Mhm.
And these, it's amazing seeing when we went through the bitter cold snap of the winter, seeing our officers get each day, hey, here's a list of warming houses. Here are areas you can bring people if you encounter somebody out on the street who's homeless, who has nowhere to go, who's not properly dressed for the weather. And that's just one angle to it.
Mhm.
This last week, Thomas, our department social worker, was dealing with a resident who was going through some struggles, whether it be from life circumstances or health reasons, both physical and mental, uh, and was out in the community. Um, he was this person was on Thomas's weekly check-ins, and he went out and found that went out with an officer and found that this person's fridge and cupboards were completely empty, with really only a jar of mayonnaise that she had been eating. Thomas contacted the community relations officer, Callio, and inquired about getting one of the gift cards that the department had received, and for scenarios such as this. They were able to get a gift card, and Thomas could have just gone and dropped the gift card off
Mhm.
at the woman's place, at the woman's residence, but instead he went out and he bought the groceries with that gift card and dropped all of the food off for that residence. And not only did that, but made sure that that resident had introductions and connections with additional social services that can help this person through this time of struggle.
Mhm.
And it's one person, and I get it, but that one person needed help so badly. And that's something one we wouldn't have been able to have done with just an officer.
Sure.
This is somebody who made a gigantic difference in somebody's life and took the time to do it. And with his knowledge and contacts and resources, he was able to not just take care of the problem in the short term, but provided a path and a plan for this person to move towards wellness. And he will check in with her regularly and make sure that she's um, continuing on her path, and to make sure that if there are additional needs, that they will be able to meet those and to help her towards success. So this is just one story out of many,
Mhm.
that a success story of our social workers. So truly outstanding work by Thomas, and we really appreciate it. We appreciate him, his knowledge, his efforts, his work, and his willingness and dedication.
Well-deserved spotlight within the city. Final note under police, you wanted to give us an update on incident reports. What have we seen over the past week?
Yeah, we had 544 police related incidents July 10th through the 16th. Numbers up a little bit, but we expect it post July 4th. But again, right in line with where we should be and what we are expecting. Staffing was set so that we were able to address the issues that came in and still continue on with our proactive measures and our community engagement. So things are going well.
Let's hop over to Public Works. It is the time of the year where a lot of projects get done, and we have a couple different types of projects on the smaller level, seal coat and fog seal. How's that project going? Understand the weather might be playing a little factor in this one and in all projects.
Absolutely. We've had to juggle our scheduling around a little bit with the seal coat and fog seal project due to rain. And you need it to be dry and warm for the application of this onto the roadways. And we were able to squeeze it in on a couple of days where we didn't have rain or the forecast of rain. And the fog seal application is tentatively scheduled for July 30th. And that information is available on our city website as well. We also have with the infrastructure improvement plan that project that is going to be north of Northwood Park, south of 40th, between Boone and Winnetka. And that continues to go on. We've been able to work through the weather on that. They're getting rid of, they're replacing some of the fire hydrants, doing some work on the catch basins, and that's all work that's a precursor to redoing those roads. So they're making headway on that, and people are looking forward to getting new streets.
I'm sure they are. And you mentioned the website, newhopemn.gov. So if you want to keep an eye on those projects and get any updates, you can certainly do it there. Final note to pass along. Let's go to Park and Recreation, talk a little bit about that swimming pool, the aquatic park. We had been previewing that something was coming that was going to make it very busy for a weekend, and it happened. And how did it go?
Yeah, the Minnesota Regional Championship swim meet was held last weekend and Friday through Sunday, and the aquatic park was closed to the general public for that for those 3 days. We had thousands of people there. It was very, very well run. It went off without a hitch, and it really showcased the aquatic park for the greatness that it is.
Mhm.
And it was well used. And I really hate to take away the pool from our residents for the weekend. We do charge for that, and we do make money on that. We did get grant money to be able to host that. So it went off without a hitch, and we're back to normal operations. And with the incredibly warm weather coming up,
Yes.
I'm sure it'll get used.
Get out there and go swimming. All right, as we head into the end of the update here, we're going to mention a few things that are coming up to get on your schedule. One is the In Focus photo contest. You encourage residents to get out there with their cameras now.
Absolutely. This is going to be our annual In Focus photo contest. And this is a program that we actually stole from Golden Valley. We saw that it was being done in Golden Valley. It was brought up to the council through one of our commissions that we should do it. And people have just embraced it. And we get a lot of things, a lot of photos entered. They're due by August 10th.
Mhm.
The entrants must live, work, or attend school in New Hope. And the contest features categories of candid community moments, nature and landscape, architecture, urban spaces, wildlife, and animals. And again, there's more information available through the city website, or you can contact our communications intern, Lily Jacobs, for information on this program.
Very good. newhopemn.gov/infocus is the place to find out more. And one final reminder, City Services Survey. We talked a little bit about that and the importance of that for the city. And we encourage people to do it now. The deadline's not for a while, but do it right now.
Yeah, and we do want to hear from people. I see each of these surveys personally, and it really helps us know what people want to see in our city, as well as it helps us know how we're doing. And I love the positive comments. I love the negative comments. It really is a place where people can share their thoughts with us on how things are going and where they'd like to see them go. So please take the time to fill out a survey. Please know that it's not just a box checking exercise for us. We truly read them. If people want calls back, they can check the box on that, and someone will call them back from that particular department in the city. So it's a great way for us to hear from our residents.
And again, newhopemn.gov is the website that has been sent out in many different ways, but you can always go to the website and find a way to fill that out. Mayor, thanks once again for your time today. Appreciate the update. You have a great week, and we'll look to see you again next week.
Dave, thank you so much. Have a great week.
You too, and here's a look at some other things happening right here in the community. For more city stories, check out ccxmedia.org or find us on social media.